Hello, namaskar, good morning. It's around 3 a.m. now. It's December the 20th. And it's a very quiet night, but I was looking forward to some rains, but I'm not getting the rains for quite a while now. Nice, beautiful rains which give you so sound sleep, so enjoyable moments with the books and a nice movie and nice snacks. But anyway, I'll take this alternative, this cool, this mosquito, heavily populated mosquito night. I'm going to talk about my connection with the Chinese culture. How is it that I learned Tai Chi? Why is it that some point in my life I was into karate or the martial arts? I even studied 2 courses at the Confucius Institute, with the Chinese language, 2 language classes. And I didn't continue because, the war for some reason started there, between the differences between China and India. Maybe I don't understand the subtleties of the war. Maybe the relation between China is not like we perceive as the relation with Pakistan and India. It's much more subtler, it's much more complicated. It's much more deeper, they say blood is thicker than water. Anyhow, they say that China used to be a small country, but it captured surrounding Mongol territories and brought them within its fold. So the country has a legacy of expansivity. Some scholars even say that China was part of India. How is that? The diet, in terms of the features. Though some parts of India, they have the same people with the features, and these people are listed since the Mahabharata era. Ancient people there in India, one of the Mongol groups. So the culture is similar in many ways. In fact, some scholars said they are the Kshatriyas, the original Indian warrior class. Chinese civilization is just 6,000 years old, and Indian culture is about 550 million years old. And India was part of South America along with Africa. So maybe the tribal people, the Mongol people, were exchanged through that business, we don't know. But what it is that China and India are separated by a very narrow border. And I was fascinated with Chinese culture quite a lot from my childhood. In fact, during my childhood days, right outside of the hospital there, over the West Coast, there was a restaurant, the Bright Star restaurant. The son of the Bright Star restaurant, Mr. Philip, and his brothers Andre and Bruce, we became very close family friends. That was during my childhood when I was bouncy, full of energy and life and vigor, brahmachari kid, doing excelling in the classes. I remember I did one at maths class. When maths was introduced, and Mr. Sheriff Bacchus explained the pure maths. Only 2 of us could have solved the problems after he finished explaining, and give us some exercises to do. Only 2 of us got 100 out of 100. Well, me and another Indian girl. So, maths was a fascination those times. And during those early eras, I had this relationship with my friendship with Bruce and Andre and Philip. He were Chinese. They came in the compound and he shared a lot of his Chinese culture with me. But in terms of culture, I didn't learn much from it. Actually, I was mostly interested in the Chinese martial arts, The mystical part somehow attracted something deep within me. And that I was wanted for. I always wondered why there were so many cook shops in Guyana, so many Chinese restaurants, so many. In fact, this later gave birth to Chinese supermarkets. The supermarkets are everywhere. But one, they provide the food because food was a necessity in Guyana here. I don't know why the businesses are given over to Chinese. I know, for example, when a Crescent Cycle store was sold, they were Indian business people bought that, but now it's being rented by Chinese operators. So we have the Indian and the Chinese interplay is there, right? So maybe the people now are in the level of foodie level, with the stomach got to satisfy before you can think higher things, in the words of Vivekananda Swami. So I hope one day maybe we'll have some Tai Chi centers opening here in Guyana. I like Tai Chi because now at my age I can't do those vigorous strenuous exercise I was doing before, I used to bake bricks with my hands, these clay bricks. In the early years I was just 12, 13. We used to do a lot of vigorous training. And so now I can't do those kind of things like sword fencing and boxing and pull-ups and push-ups and squats and knuckle push-up and finger push-ups. Can't do those things now, right? So the Indian and the Chinese relation is there, being so neighbors, close neighbors. I think the present relation is stronger than in Africa during the RAR era, when they were one big continent: India, Africa, Australia, Iran, Philippines, South America, called Gondwana land, the RAR civilization. And if you check on the internet, RARH, I think it's spelled, on Gondwana land, you will see all the facts of Panji civilization, when earth movement, tectonic movement, causes the earth to separate from South America and Africa, and it drifted towards Asia and collided with Asia. But this did not happen overnight. It took millions of years. It was a so slow movement. So the India and China is now a cohesive and cohesive experience. There's a lot of exchange of culture between the Mongoloids and India, though it's not so much evident in Guyana here. The Mongols, due to their probably habits, appetites, and so on, they are more identified with other cultural groups. But in India, they had the great yogis from Nepal, Goraknath, who spent a lot of time in Nepal. There are a lot of Nepalese yogis, Chinese yogis. In fact, the Anandamar Guru said long ago in Vikrampur in the Dhaka district, there was a great Chinese tantric. His name was Pahaucha. I think he was a SHEN JENG. SHEN JENG means one who had perfect control over himself and the environment. So when people had problems, they would go to him carrying gifts of flowers, fruits, and many things, and he was very much respected, and he would solve the problems. He could even deal with invisible problems, supernatural problems. And I say long also the Chinese attempted to revive the Chenachara tantric cult in Bengal by reviving martial arts there. But I don't know how much they were successful, But what happened is that the type of tantra in India is Shaktacharya, meaning it's a lot of psychic, tantra and mind propelled phenomena, while the tantra in China, the Mongol eras, are the Chinachara tantra. They are based on physical movements, a lot of movement in the physical world. All in all, Tantra is a very physical subject, on how to conquer the physical plane, how to gain mastery over the physical level, appetites, instincts, feelings, emotions, intellect, memory, psychology, so on. All these are Tantra, powers, occult powers, and deities and all these things, and so all these are arms of Tantra. We have Kashmiri Tantra, Bengali Tantra, ritualistic Tantra, non-ritualistic Tantra, the Ostrich Tantra from Australia, the Australian Aboriginals. They also do a kind of Tantra if you study their culture. So what happened is that Chinachara Tantra went to China. Lord Shiva, who was himself a Mongol, Amerindian and Aryan, white European Caucasian hybrid. They say he had a long horn which he blew. He had it on his waist. He rode a bull. He would go over to all these Muslim countries around in Asia there, all Iran and Afghanistan, Armenia, and all these Muslim Turkmenistan and all these countries, and he would teach Tantra in those areas. And in China, he taught the Mongols Chinachara Tantra. So what happened? Tantra was pronounced when it went to these Mongol countries like China. It pronounced as Tauta, 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 not Tantra, Tantra, Tauta, Tauta, and Tauta become Tao, Tao, Taoism become Taoism, Taoism, and the practices of Taoism is so much like Tantra, like the raising the energy, the Shakti, the vigor, the vitality. So much powers, to enter into other bodies and to take energy from your enemies, and to control the vira, the flow, the semen, the male reproductive fluid through Vajroli processes like rolling and so on. Those are technical and esoteric subjects that you can't understand. Now you have to go to an experienced teacher and very high teachers to learn those secret knowledge that increases longevity, that open up different perceptions, consciousness, communication with deity, nature spirits, and understanding of mantras and sacred words to gain subjectivity over disease and sicknesses. And so those are very vast and deep subjects that people study for years and years, sometimes a whole life, sometimes many lifetimes. The teacher kill them and bring them back to life again. It's not a process of Tantra. So in all, the Chinese has school of Tantra that can interest you, but unfortunately those things are not being taught or dispensed or dispersed around outside of China. It's only kept for secret society, which is the nature of Tantra. It's not so much exposed and taught, In fact, Tantra, they have very strong appetite. If the Jataragni chakra, Jataragni plexus is very strong. You have very strong appetite for eating, for example. You have a good appetite. You can eat and eat and eat. Like the guru, the yogi Nim Crowley Baba, he can eat all the time. He don't remember or realize that he's eating, when he finish eating breakfast or not. People bring food and gift and sweets, fruits, and they give him, and he keep eating it to please the disciples as prasadam. Take it, eat it. But it doesn't affect him in a bad way, If your Jataragani plexus or center is strong, you have a very strong appetite. So these are all esoteric knowledge and secret knowledge that is there for mankind, that is being archived, blueprinted, being kept in time capsules and special time frames to preserve for future generation and so on. Those who are ready, the teacher will come. Those who are not, they can enjoy what is there at their level. Due to their anatomical build, their genetic endowments, their circumstances, they will enjoy the blessings of the universe. And this astral level that we're at, this astral plane, you will enjoy the blessings and beauty and charms and tastes and perception as they are. Until then, until we awaken to higher and diviner teachings and mysteries. Until then, namaskar, bon voyage.